do your genes cause cancer? So let's jump into that right away. So there's very few cancers that we would say are caused by your genes. There are genetic mutations, especially you might have heard of the BRCA genes. Those are tumor suppressor genes. So a tumor suppressor gene is a gene that will turn on, for sake of a better word, if cancer is growing in your body, and it will help your body kill the cancer. So tumor suppressor genes are very important. So defects in tumor suppressor gene systems can contribute to cancer, but they'll never be a cause of cancer. So for instance, if I have cancer growing in my breast and I have BRCA gene defects, so my tumor suppressor genes aren't going to be able to turn on to kill that cancer. You have other systems that are going to kill that cancer. So just because a person has defects in their tumor suppressor genes certainly does not mean that they're going to get cancer. Now there are some other genes, especially with colon cancer, that if people with these specific genes have a much higher incidence of colon cancer, colorectal cancer. But for the most part, your genes are not your causative factor of your cancer. And then the second part of this question was, what about the MTHFR defect? Your MTHFR gene is a very important gene with detoxification, with methylation, but I certainly wouldn't say that that's a cause of cancer. Now, defects in certain pathways, especially pathways that are involved with detoxification, can be, you could argue that they could be a secondary or tertiary cause of cancer, because if I'm exposed to toxins, and let's say two people are working the same job, spraying horrible chemicals on, whatever, and I have a lot of defects in my detoxification pathways, and my coworker doesn't, I'm going to be less readily able to detoxify those chemicals. So from a secondary standpoint, yes, I'm exposed to the same toxins as my coworker. My coworker is able to detox these out faster than I am. The chance that these chemicals are going to settle in my cells is much greater because of those defects in those pathways. The chance of that settling in my cell and disrupting the cell replication pathway is higher, and that's what cancer is. So cancer is, by definition, a cell that has its replication pathway affected in a way that the cell is going through rapid replication, and natural cell death, apoptosis, isn't taking place, and so that's what cancer is. So the cause of it really would, in this case, in this example, would be toxicity. Where are the genes the cause? Well, there's a secondary effect that I'm not able to detox quickly, and therefore the toxins that I'm exposed to aren't getting out of my body. So yes, in that case, yes. That's why when we look at a person's genes, that's part of all our plans, and we think it's very important. Your detox pathways are one of the major things that we look at, even more so than your tumor suppressor genes.